Okay, if this GoPro actually records, it will be a miracle, because it has let me down so much recently. Like in the last week, it's just kind of stopped working completely. And it's raining, so that also doesn't help. Anyway, hello YouTube. If I manage to make a video out of this, it will be incredible. I am going back home after getting Pinky's brakes sorted out. Oh no. Everything is soaked. I don't know why I decided to wear my rocker today. It's not waterproof. Everything is wet. So I'm giving my GoPro one last chance to redeem itself, and if it doesn't record this, it's going in the bin. The thing is, like, it has worked in the rain before. Normally it doesn't, but sometimes it does, so it's just completely inconsistent. But basically what it did was, I was using it when I was riding the Can-Am last week, and it was actually like a job. I had to record rides for someone else, so it was important that it went right. And the GoPro said that it was recording, it was giving me the little red flashy light, it was behaving itself, and then I get it back after riding it for 300 miles, which I didn't want to have to do again, and there was nothing on the SD card. So that sucked. But then I borrowed another GoPro, the exact same GoPro, from a friend who bought his at the same time that I bought mine, and I guess it's just a faulty batch, because then that one was acting up as well. Luckily I was able to recover the files, and I think I have everything, but it's not worth the horrendous amounts of anxiety that this GoPro is giving me, so I need to buy something else. I do pay for the GoPro subscription, so I do have like a no questions asked policy where I can pay a certain amount of money and they'll just send me another one, like a lot cheaper than buying a new one. But I'm not sure if I want another one exactly like it, because I feel like maybe they're just not reliable. Anyway, we'll see when I get home. It's still flashing red, so maybe there's a little bit of hope. I've had a busy week, a busy 7 days, and it's been a really, really good 7 days. It's been challenging, but I'll tell you how my week's been, because Pinky's not doing anything interesting right now. We're literally just riding home. I think you guys have seen this route about 10 times this year. But anyway, so I had the 3 days with the Can-Am, which is the yellow Spider that you guys have seen before. I took that to Caffeine and Machine. I've never been to Caffeine and Machine, and I was on my own. It was an opportunity for me to get used to the bike, and I felt after 3 days, and I think we did about 400 miles together, maybe a little bit more, but after 3 days of riding it solidly, I felt really competent on it. I was very confident. I actually felt like I was able to ride it quickly as well, which was really, really nice, because up until that point I'd kind of been riding them feeling like I didn't have a huge amount of control. I was struggling to gel with it, but after being kind of unleashed on my own, it felt a million times better. So we went to Cheddar Gorge first, because I know how to get to Cheddar Gorge, and then it was suggested that I go to Caffeine and Machine, so I made my way up there, but I didn't have a sat nav, I didn't have any way of seeing directions, and I didn't just want to take the motorway. I wanted to explore a little bit, but what actually happened was I ended up getting lost in all of the towns, like Cheltenham, Bath, like the city centres, straight through the middle, because I'm just following signs and kind of like jumping from town to town, following the general direction of where I wanted to go, but it ended up taking me through the middle. And one of the very obvious kind of, not flaws, but negatives for this bike is that you can't really filter on it. So it took me a really long time to get through these cities, because there was a lot of roadworks, it was really busy, and I couldn't filter. So it ended up taking me 6 hours to do 100 miles because I just kept on going through cities by accident. Obviously, if I knew the way and I knew to avoid the cities, it wouldn't have taken me anywhere near as long. But I screwed it up and I kept going through cities and I kept getting stuck in roadworks and traffic, and it took me so long to get there. By the time I got there, I just wanted to turn around and go back again. So that was a shame. But I was also quite proud of myself, even though I did kind of do it wrong, but I did manage to get there without a sat-nav and without using motorways, so I thought that was a win. And obviously the time that I spent on it, I was out on one of the days for like 10 hours riding this bike around, and just how relaxed and normal I felt on it after that, it was fantastic. So that was really, really great. We did also do a lot of teeny tiny little roads. At one point I ended up kind of face to face with this massive flood that I couldn't see the end of, so I had to turn it around. So I got very good at reversing it, and I don't know if you've ever been on a motorcycle or anything like that you've had to reverse in with a reverse gear. It's not easy. It's not like going backwards in a car. All of your visual kind of points are completely different. It's so strange, but I'm happy because I was able to do that by the end of it, so that's great. And then after the Can-Am went back, immediately the next day I had to catch a flight because Suzuki UK were flying me to Valencia to the launch of 2 of their new bikes, which is my first time being on a launch, so one of the videos is already online from this. Obviously by this time I had picked up my friend's GoPro, so I thought I had a more reliable GoPro, so that was good. And I had to get myself to Heathrow Airport. Normally in my life, up until this point, because this is the first time I've flown in about 4 years, up until this point I've always had someone who will drive me to an airport, and I no longer have that in my life. I no longer have someone to drive me to airports, so I had to walk to the train station with this luggage, this like wheelie bag thingy with my helmet, my leathers and everything in it. So to walk to the train station, and then I had to get 2 trains and then 2 underground trains to get to Heathrow. It took me so long to do it, but I did it. Again, quite proud of myself for being able to do that on my own without any help. And then I'm kind of paranoid about like getting lost, as I should be, because I always get lost. So I got to the airport like 4 hours before my flight and just sat in a departure lounge for ages drinking coffee and giving myself a headache, but it didn't matter because I made it and I got there and I got on a plane. And it was like a weird thing because I haven't flown and I'm never scared of flying. I don't really care, but something in my body was telling me I should be nervous, so I started feeling sick. Even though my brain was fine, my body was like, no, we're travel sick now. Like, fantastic. And it was quite windy, so it was quite a shaky flight, but it was good. And then I arrived in Valencia with the other people that were doing the launch with me. We were all kind of in little groups. And I was in a group with Lucia Orcott and some other kind of media people. Obviously the only person on that launch that I knew was Lucia, and also James at Suzuki. Tank, what do you mean tank? What? I filled you up like... I can't remember. Okay, fine. I think I'm just going to ride it home like this, I don't care. Anyway, so we had dinner, and the following day we had these 2 bikes to ride. So you'll see this already if you've been watching my channel. It was a GSX 8R, which I was really excited to ride because I really loved the GSX 8S, and this was kind of that exact bike but with the changes that I would have wanted if it were going to be my bike. So it was perfect. And then also the new GSX S1000RR, which is like a sports crossover. It's a GT on stilts, basically. And it was a lot of riding. It was roads that you don't get in England. It was like really, really twisty, clean kind of... A lot of them were quite narrow roads up through the mountains. It was absolutely impeccable. And it didn't take me long to gel with the 8R. I loved that bike. But by the middle of the day I was kind of tired. Obviously, long day previously. I was flaking a little bit. Lost my confidence on the GX immediately. And then we got halfway through that ride and I pulled up next to Lucia and I said, like, I'm struggling with this bike, how are you getting on? And she was like, I love this bike is amazing. And then she was like, you're in A mode, so that's why you're struggling, put it in B mode. And then she handed me like a bag of Haribo. She was like, you need sugar. So I had some Haribo and I put the bike in B mode, and then after that I was fine. So if you ever need someone to pick you up when you're down, Lucia will do that for you. It's bloody smart. And then after the bikes were safely returned to the hotel, my little group went out for dinner in Valencia. We got Spanish tapas, which was very delicious. Had a late night, had an early morning. Same thing on the way home, back on a plane, back on 2 trains, 2 more trains. I didn't really have a plan to get home, so I'm actually kind of surprised that I managed to get home as easily as I did. Again, did it, I'm very pleased with myself. And gave myself a little rest day yesterday where I panicked over the footage that the GoPro said wasn't on the GoPro, but it was on the GoPro. It took me like 4 hours to retrieve these files from the GoPro because something was just wrong with it. I had to go the most convoluted way of getting them off the GoPro and onto my laptop hard drive. It was very stressful because I thought, you know, I've done this trip, I've had an amazing time, and I've lost all of the footage, but it's fine, I've got it back. And then I had a chill out day yesterday, and today we're back on Pinky in the rain. Lovely. So Pinky's had her brakes done, and then I think I am going to go up to Somerset next week because what I wanted to do this month is I wanted to grab Pinky and go straight back out to Spain. I wanted to jump on a boat and go and enjoy a warmer climate somewhere else. Apparently the weather in Spain isn't going to be that good next week, and also family obligations have come up, which means that I have to leave it a little while before I go away again. So I'm going to go up to Somerset and I'm going to chill out. I'm going to take Pinky with me, probably go up to Cheddar Gorge and see some goats or something, just encourage myself to sit quietly and do some artwork for a little bit, and also spend time researching action cameras so I can buy either a GoPro or an Insta360, one of those new ones, or apparently DJI make drones, they also do action cameras, and apparently that one's quite good as well. So I need to look that all up, I need to do some research, and I think I need to just chuck some money at new filming equipment because I feel like I could have done a lot better this week, and all of my kit has just continuously let me down. So I need to replace it, I need to invest in it, just, you know, swallow that expense and get some new stuff. So I'm going to do that. It's going to be exciting. If you have any recommendations for what you think I should buy, if you think should I bite the bullet, should I trust the newer GoPros? Are the newer GoPros reliable? Are they going to have the same problems that I've always had with mine? Or does anybody have the new Insta360 option? Does anyone have the DJI option? Are they alright? Are they waterproof? Can you use normal software, or do they need their own software? Like, just give me information about this, because I hate reading up on stuff. I know I'm going to have to though, it's a lot of money to spend, so I will do it properly, but you know, give me your experiences or your opinions. It'll be very helpful for me, thank you. And yeah, hopefully the GoPro saves all of this so I can have a quick little video, and we will see, I guess. Trying to think if I've got any other updates for you. Obviously this is not a very interesting visual video. We're just getting Pinky home. I'm supposed to be testing these brakes out. I'm supposed to be bedding the new brake pads in because I haven't got new brake discs, it's just new brake pads, so apparently you need to like use them so that they get, I don't know. Anyway, apparently I should be using my brakes and I haven't used my brakes. I'm already going slowly. I'm excited to see how my rear brake works because I don't really use it. It's kind of there for an emergency if I like come into a corner too hot or whatever, or just holding at a traffic light. So I didn't really notice that actually it doesn't do anything. They said that last time. They were like, did you know your rear brake doesn't work? And I was like, well, not really. I don't use it. Obviously I do use it occasionally, but I don't know what it's supposed to feel like. The only thing I know with Pinky is that it's really far away from where my foot is. So you have to like really deliberately go for it, otherwise your feet won't catch it. Anyway, so I mean, let's just go down a few gears and yeah, that works. I don't know if that's better than it was. I have no idea. I've just spent a load of money. I mean, that's probably not as sharp as it used to be, but it will get there. It's really wet, so I don't want to play with it too much because I don't want to cause problems for myself. It's fine, it works, whatever. Is that the sun over there? Wow. It's up there somewhere. Anyway, so that's my update. I hope you've enjoyed. Hope everybody else is having a good February. Obviously it's actually the last day of February, just for some context. It's the 29th, it is leap day, and I guess from now it's going to be March. Hopefully it'll start getting warmer again, and that will be a nice change. But yeah, I hope you guys are all good, staying warm and dry maybe. Let me know what you think about cameras and GoPros and things so I can make a good informed choice, and keep an eye out for my S1000RR video, which I will be working on. Obviously the 8R one is already online. Let me know what you think of that, and I'll catch up with you real soon. Thank you for watching. Bye. Do I get you petrol? I don't know if I can be bothered.